Hey, welcome back. So today we're going to be focusing on the Listbox widget. And now, as always, we'll start off by creating a variable. We'll call it listbox1, and we'll make it equal to listbox, and then parentheses. And then right now we'll go over some of the parameters for listbox. Wait, first of all, let's actually just pack it. Oops, there we go. Then if we run this, you can't really see anything because there's nothing in the list box yet. So yeah, here's the border for the list box. Now, the first two things are height and width, and I'm not gonna do them because it's pretty self-explanatory. You can regulate the height and the width of the list box widget. So next up we have highlight color. There we go, highlight color. So normally someone would think that this will change the color of anything that's highlighted inside of the list box, but in reality it just changes the border color, if you could say. It just changes the highlight of the whole list box. So we'll have it set to red for now, and then if we run it, so you can see your border. When you click on it, nothing happens because I haven't highlighted. There's nothing inserted in the list box. So let's quickly add something into the list box, and for that we'll use the insert method. So listbox1.insert, and then first thing we have is the index that you want to insert at, and then after that, divided by comma, we can type in what we want to insert. So I'll just insert hello. And here on this, there we go, we have hello in there. And if we click it, yeah, it just gets highlighted. And so highlight color is equal to red, and for that, for us to be able to actually kind of see the highlight, we need to change the highlight thickness. Highlight thickness, there we go, and we'll change it to 5, just that we can see what's going on when we click on something. So nothing's highlighted. As you can see, there's like a little border. And click hello, the list box widget gets highlighted. It doesn't actually change the color of the highlight of what you're selecting. For that we have select background, and we'll set select background to, let's say, blue. And obviously again you can use hex colors, stuff like that. There we go. If we click on this, or click on this, it changes the color of the background of whatever is selected. Next we have select mode, and let me just quickly remove all of this. And for select mode, there are a variety of different modes, and the default is browse. And so if we type this in, nothing will happen. So basically we have this, and this can't be really, I can't show you tutorial with only one thing in here. So for that, let's quickly make a for loop to add a bunch of numbers into the list box. So for I in range 100, we'll have listbox1.insert at index I minus 1, we'll insert I. And so let's run this. There we go. So we have numbers ranging from 1 to 100. Now with browse, you can click on one, and then you can, as you can see, when you drag it, you like quote unquote browse the various entries in here. And so then we have single. It's kind of similar to browse, except you can't drag your mouse. So there you go. I clicked it, and when I'm trying to browse my mouse, nothing happens. It just stays on the entry. Next we have multiple. Oops. And this way you can select multiple entries. So you click this one, then you click this one, and basically it's as if you're checking something. So like checkbox, but that's that's separate in Tkinter. We'll go over that a bit later. So you can, just click these. Then we have extended. And then, there we go. It's basically browse, but the entries that you go over, they also get highlighted. And that's pretty much all of the modes for select mode. And next we have X scroll command and Y scroll command. We used those earlier in the entry field widget. We're going to use them here again. And so for that, we need to create a scroll bar widget. Scroll bar 1. We have to scroll bar, and then we'll leave this empty for now. Actually, no. Yeah, we'll have command is equal to listbox1 dot y view. So right now we're connecting the scroll bar to the list box, and we want well, we're setting the command to listbox1.yview, and what that does is every time the scroll bar is moved, it'll change the Y view of the list box, so it'll make it scroll up and down. Now, just like we did in the entry fields class, we need to add the Y-scroll command parameter to the list box. And so we have to use .config for that, since the variable scrollbar1 is assigned after we've assigned listbox1. So we need to use .config. So listbox1.config, then we'll have Y-scroll command is equal to scrollbar1 dot set. There we go. And finally, let's quickly pack listbox1. Oh, sorry, I mean scrollbar1 dot pack. And we'll change the orientation of the scroll bar to vertical. Orient is equal to vertical. After we run this, there we go. So now, if we use this, as you can see, it scrolls through all of the entries. Let's use the grid method so that it's a bit less messy and it looks a bit better. So grid, there we go. Column is equal to 0, row is equal to 0. Then right here we'll have column is equal to 1, row is equal to 0, and we want the list box to be in the left and the scroll bar to be in the right. And then since this is the grid method, the pack method, we'll use sticky because we want it to basically span the whole window. Sticky is equal to south plus north. Run this. There we go. Looks a lot better. So we have this, and oops, there we go. Let me make this a bit bigger. You can scroll through all of the entries. Now you can also use xscroll command and .xview if you have another scroll bar which scrolls the X view, so the left and right. So we won't do that now because it's basically the same thing except xview and xscroll command. And so that's pretty much all of the parameters for the list box. Now we'll start going over the methods. Obviously we went over some of the methods already, but we'll go over some of the more important methods. And the first one is the delete method, and that's pretty self-explanatory. You can use it to delete various entries. So we'll have list box. Oh, we'll create a button so that's a bit easier. So button 1 is equal to button, and then we'll have text is equal to button. I'll just leave it button because we're going to be changing the commands later on. So command is equal to, let's set it to, I don't know, button function, and then we'll have to create the function over here. So button function, there we go, and then we're gonna have listbox1 dot delete, and then the same way we deleted stuff in the entry widget, first we type in the index from which we want to delete the entries, and then till the end. So it can be either end, or it can be, I don't know, 3, 4, whatever, doesn't matter. This can also be like 2, something like that. So we'll keep it like this, and then let's quickly add the button. So button 1.grid column is equal to 0, row is equal to 1, then we'll have column span is equal to 2. There we go. Let's run this. Okay, so let's go to the top. As you can see, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Click this button. 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and 5, they get deleted, and then you have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and so on. Basically, the second index will be the third number, so 1, 2, 3. So from number 3 up till the fourth index, which will be the fourth index itself is number 6, but again, it's not inclusive of this index. It deletes everything from this index up until this index. So now let's do .get, and so this will give us what is inside of the entry which is at the given index. So we can type it over here. So let's say index 5, and we'll add print. There you go. And now index 5 should be number 6. There you go. It prints 6. And obviously, if we had some other text in here, like, I don't know, hello, something like that, it would print hello. Now we have insert, and yeah, we already did that. Basically, you can insert various entries into the list box widget. We're not going to do that again because we already did it. Then we have .c, the C method. So listbox1.c. Oops, there we go. And basically, it adjusts the view so that you can see a certain entry. So let's say we want to see the entry in the 7th index. Honestly, it's easier to show you what happens than explaining it. So over here, the 7th index will be number 8. So if we click this button, nothing will happen because you can already see it in the actual list box. But if we scroll down to a point where you can't see it, you click this. There we go. It adjusts everything up until you can see the 7th index. So it's pretty useful for stuff where you need to like jump between entries and stuff like that, and where you need to find a certain entry, then it'll automatically jump to that entry. And next we have Y scroll move to. So Y scroll. Oh no, I mean Y view move to. And basically what this does is it moves the Y view of the list box based off of a given fraction. So if you're to put in 0.5, and it ranges from 0 to 1. So if you're to type in 0, and you'd, oops, I don't know, it's not working. You'd move it basically, and if you click the button, it would scroll up to the very top because it's 0. And if we were to input 1, it would scroll down to the very bottom. And so since we inputted 0.5 when we click the button, there you go. It moves to the very middle, so right after 15. And obviously you can do stuff like, I don't know, 0.75. Here you go, button. There you go. It's right after 75. And then if you were to set it to 1, and like we scroll somewhere over here, and click the button, it scrolls to the very bottom, and then if you were to do 0, it would scroll to the very top. There you go. And so similar to similar to Y view move to, we have Y view scroll, and this it basically just scrolls down based on 2 arguments that we're going to pass here. So the first one is a number, so let's say 10, and then we have units and then stuff like pages. So if you're to do units, it's basically by by lines, so it scrolls down by 10 lines. So let's put it over here and then click button. As you can see, it scrolled down by 10 lines. If you were to do it, to put 5 over here, it scrolled down by 5. So there we go. And then we can also do pages, and this will scroll down. This is basically another kind of a unit. And so if you do two pages, and put a 2 over here, button, it scrolls down by 2 pages. There you go. And then we have the same stuff for X view, so you can do X view scroll and X view move to, and with the fraction. And that'll do the same thing, except it'll change the X view, so left and right. So this is pretty much it for the Listbox widget. We'll work on a small project in the next class. See you.